We've got tips and recipes for healthy living. So for fun and inspiration, come and join us in the raw food world.
Welcome everybody, this is Matt Monarch with the Raw Food World TV show. We actually have a group of nice young people over here, and me and Angela are going to be speaking, so I thought we could maybe put this on the TV show. Michael's going to be filming, and we're going to be doing it inside the yoga pavilion here. I'm excited.
It can be fun, isn't it, Papa?
Yeah, they don't really know much about raw foods. These are my favorite types of talks, and we'll see you in a bit. Right on. Okay, so this is kind of fun for me because normally we speak in front of people that are into raw foods or they're, aspiring to heal from disease. One of the reasons why the raw foods movement is so popular and why it has grown so much is because people literally heal from all sorts of degenerative diseases. Now, I'm not here today to tell you how you should eat, what you should eat, or anything like that, so you don't have to worry. I personally recommend 99% of the people that I talk with not even to be on a 100% raw food diet. I do recommend, however, to eat as healthily as possible. How many people in the room, whose parents are on pharmaceutical drugs? Anybody? Yeah, a lot of people. That's very damaging to the body. And once you start taking that, it just is most likely a downhill struggle till the end. So it's astounding how many people in the world, the percentage of people who have degenerative diseases, especially in the cities and western states and England and stuff like that. It's amazing. It's more than 50%. Probably 70% of people in the long run end up, 80-90% of people end up on pharmaceutical drugs. And they have no idea. So, the reason why people are on drugs is not because of luck or they inherited something or something like that. It is literally because of the way we eat. And again, you don't need to be 100% raw to be healthy. What we're going to talk about today is how to just pretty much prevent disease and not end up like that 80% of the people of the western states and the population of mainstream. So, I've been a raw food eater for 14 years, and I've been all around the world speaking at all sorts of events and things like that, and I've literally met thousands and thousands of people who have healed from all sorts of degenerative diseases, conditions, and ailments. And as I said before, the reason why this industry is growing so much is because it works, and the reason why it's going to continue to grow is because it works. Now, the information I'm going to teach you today is so logical and so easy to understand and grasp and so powerful and so simple that it has the potential to change your life forever. So I'm just going to get started. Why raw food? What's so good about it anyways? People say they're alive, they've got enzymes, they're the highest vibrational foods on the planet. And these are all good things, but nothing compares to the number one benefit of the raw food diet. And the number one benefit of the raw food diet is when you eat a raw food diet, you're eliminating all the foods that damage the body. It's actually more important what you don't eat than what you actually eat. You can eat raw foods until you're blue in the face, but if you're going to go to McDonald's 3 times a week, it's unlikely that you're going to heal from a condition that you have or prevent something in the long run. So, all these thousands of people that I've met that have healed, they didn't heal because they ate raw foods. The raw foods actually has nothing to do with it. They healed because they eliminated the junk. And what is junk? And what's good? That's what we're going to establish today. And again, you don't need to be 100% raw to be healthy, but there are certain foods that we want to eliminate from our diets completely without any exception for ultimate health. So, there's a lot of diets out there today, and I'm sure you've heard of many of them, such as the zone diet, the macrobiotics diet, the South Beach diet, the body ecology diet, the maker's diet, the blood type diet, and the list just goes on and on and on. And all the creators of these diets, they claim to get results. And to be honest with you, I've seen a lot of people adhere to a lot of these diets And I've seen them get results. I've seen people heal from disease and lose weight and all sorts of things. And there's one common denominator on why all these diets succeed. And that common denominator is every single one of these diets that I've mentioned and any other diet out there that works, they all eliminate certain foods from their diets completely without any exception whatsoever. It's not rocket science here. And the crazy thing about it all those diets that I just mentioned and all the ones that work, they all eliminate the same exact foods. So they're basically all the same, and that's why they all work. So what are these foods? What are the foods we want to eliminate to avoid degenerative diseases in the long run, to where we won't be needing a walker, a cane, or anything like that in the long term? Well, I like to break down the foods into the following food groups. We've got refined sugars, processed starches, dairy, animal protein. Did I say raw foods? Raw foods.
Forgot them.
These are staples. These are the main staples. There's many other things out there, such as, fast food, grease, trans fatty acids, but these are the things that most people eat all the time. Now, if we understand that what you leave out of your diet completely, without exception, is the way to ultimate health, because we want to eliminate the stuff that causes disease, then we obviously want to eliminate the food groups that are the most damaging. And what people generally do is they're like, I'm going to go vegetarian. I'm going to go vegan. And, they think they're doing something really good for their health. And it could be a really good thing. But what they tend to do is they eliminate animal protein and dairy, and they start to build up on other things such as refined sugars and processed starches. And from a scientific standpoint, the dairy and the healthy dairy and the healthy animal protein is scientifically less damaging compared to refined sugars and processed starches. And we're going to go over what those are in a second, but that's what all those diets I just talked about eliminate. They eliminate processed foods, which is mainly refined sugars and processed starches. Refined sugar is a sugar that's heated above 100 and something degrees. It's just sugar that what it does to the human body is not a pretty thing. And then the most difficult to even comprehend is bad for you is processed starches. I mean, how many people eat bread all the time or used to eat bread thinking that it's like one of the best things because it's just a staple what everybody eats? Bread is probably one of the most damaging foods to the human body. Salads are the replacement for bread. If you have an animal protein sandwich, have an animal protein salad. Healthy people eat salads. Eat as many salads as you like. That's the way to go. So processed starches is pasta, bread, and any other things like this. Baked goods. Refined sugars are in things like cookies, candies, cake, and stuff like that. So eliminating refined sugars and processed starches is what's key to ultimate health. That's the big secret. If you can do that, that's great. Now, all these diets that I've mentioned, I've studied a lot of these diets, and I see what's in them. I see what people use. And I'm pretty much just going to give off a list of foods that are acceptable. And again, you don't have to be 100% raw. We just want to eliminate those processed foods. Now, the component in the processed starch that is so damaging is gluten. Now, there are starches, even processed starches out there that are gluten-free, that are actually very healthy to the body. Things like quinoa, millet, buckwheat, amaranth. These are types of people that, people on whole foods diets eat. Other things I've seen in these types of diets, I've seen baked potatoes, no gluten, it's straight from the earth, it's not really processed. You don't want to put margarine in there, but coconut oil or something like that. I've seen steamed lentils. I've seen animal protein on all these diets. They usually eliminate red meat, and they usually do organic or farm-fed meats. I've seen healthy dairy on these diets. Cow's milk, we don't want to really drink that stuff, but I've seen goat's milk products. I've seen goat's sour cream, raw goat's cheese, goat's cottage cheese, all sorts of things. These are healthy foods. All raw foods I've seen on these types of diets. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, avocados, coconuts. So what else have I seen? Steamed vegetables are good. Steamed vegetables. Yeah, seaweeds. I've seen brown rice and beans on these types of diets. These are all okay. I mean, that's a lot of food. One rule that all these diets always say, I know food combining is something people are like, I don't understand it. What is this? The main thing you got to worry about with food combining.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again at the Raw Food World.